Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Vinyasa Flow. We are talking about distraction today. Not only distraction, but our inability to just be content with things because we are so wrapped up in preferences. So let's make today's intention all about being okay with whatever is. And let's break this down a little bit. So when we talk about this, anytime I have a class, I love to center it around an intention and set a mantra and really sort of weave that throughout our journey so that not only are we practicing yoga on our mats, but also off our mats. So let's talk about off our mats right now. Let's talk about in life where you are discontent. Now, it's said that all of discontent comes from having a preference. And in yogic philosophy, there's devesha, which is aversion or resistance, and there is raga, which is clinging. So we're always having a preference. We either don't want something or we want it and we want to keep it. And this push and pull is what is said to cause us such discontent. So outside of life on the mat here, how does that show up for you? I want you to reflect on this. How are you either clinging to a certain version of yourself or a certain habit that you have or any sort of preference you have throughout your day, in your relationships, what have you? What are you avoiding, resisting, pushing away all of the time? And I want you to assess that. And I want you to think and consider about how if you were to let go of this resistance, let go of the preference, let go of the clinging, whatever it is, how much more stable and at ease your life would be. Now talk about on the mat. There's a lot of poses we're not like super fans of. Anything that makes heat come up, tapas, that's in Sanskrit and yogic philosophy, that's tapas. That is the resistance or the fire that causes change, all right? It's the heat or the friction of transformation. But we don't often love that. Now that happens in life anytime we try and build a new habit. It happens on the mat when we're holding something that is challenging for us. So we don't always prefer every yoga move. We don't always prefer a certain sequence, or maybe you're clinging. Maybe you wish the teacher would let you stay in a nice juicy pose longer than they're allowing because they're starting to move on, but you're trying to cling to that. I want you to notice how it shows up in your practice today on the mat. What do you cling to? What do you resist? What do you have a preference about? And we're going to try and just be with what is without a preference. A great quote for you here. The third Chinese patriarch of Zen says, "The great way is not difficult for those who have no preference." So that is your practice today, my friends. We're going to have the mantra throughout the class today of I greet each moment equally. Okay? I greet each moment equally. That's what we're going to aim for. And we're going to practice it on the mat today so we can head out into life off the mat and apply the same yogic philosophy, the same principles, and create a life of much more ease. All right, my friends, starting out in child's pose, balasana, I want you to grab your two blocks. We're going to be putting our elbows or our triceps on them to get a little bit of a shoulder stretch in there, a little bit of a chest opener. So you're going to space them about the same distance as your shoulders are, and you're going to walk your knees back. For this one, I want knees wide, toes untucked, big toes touching, sit your hips back. You're going to slide those blocks to wherever you need them in order to place one elbow and then the other on the block, prayer hands, and you'll sort of wriggle around and maybe even lengthen as much as your body will allow. Try and tuck your chin here, face down towards the mat, and sink your chest as much as is possible for you. Taking a few deep breaths here, really exhaling out. Softening the face, allowing the heart to melt towards the mat. Maybe bringing those prayer hands back to meet the base of the skull behind you. Notice where you are still gripping. See if you can relax and release with the next couple of breaths here. Good. Slowing down those exhalations. Take one more full breath down deep into the belly. Allow the belly to expand between those thighs. Exhale, release, and lower the hands towards the mat. Shift your hips up and forward so you're coming out onto your elbows. One palm plants and then the other right there on those blocks, and walk your knees to about hips distance beneath you. Tuck your toes under. And from here, I want you to come into some cat-cows. So we're gonna bend the elbows a bit. We're gonna soften the elbows every time we transition, all right? So as you come into your cow belly breath, with soft elbows, you're gonna drag your heart forward, hips and head lift, belly stretches. Then you can really straighten the arms, push into the hands as you hit the pose. Big breath in, and then as you exhale, again, soften the elbows, round the back, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, push with long arms now, push, push, push into that mat, into those blocks to lift the back of the heart. You might take another breath here, let it go. And then with your inhale, soft elbows through the transition back to cow belly breath. And right on out as we exhale, soft elbows, and then hit the pose, long arms, rounded back, angry cat. One more, let's inhale, cow belly breath, stretch that belly, lift the head and hips, long arms. And exhale, round the back, chin to chest, really reach the back of the heart to the sky. Come to a neutral back here. I want you to untuck the feet, and I want you just to sit back onto those heels. If that's hard for you, you can find a blanket, a bolster, you can use your blocks. Stack them up, sit on those if you need a little extra room for the hips or the knees. We're going to grab your strap, hopefully it's not too far away. And I want you to take it nice and big. I'm gonna turn to face you. You stay right where you are. In our hero's pose, Virasana, arms nice and wide, grip the strap, and we're just gonna take some circles. So round your back, mimic that cat-cow of the spine. Rounding as you tuck your chin and come forward, circling as you lift the heart, lift the chin, maybe an inhale as you lift, and exhale as you round. Finding kind of intuitively what feels good for you, and then change directions. It's gonna feel a little wonky at first, and then you'll find your flow. Rounding and arching, breathing and flow. Good. And then let's take and warm up those shoulders even more. I want you to bring the arms back behind you as far as it will allow. You can bend the elbows if you want to. If you don't want to, you can stretch the strap even longer. Slide your hands down the strap. Lift the heart. Arms come back behind you. Lift the chin, opening the throat. Big breath in. As you exhale, round the arms ahead of you. Tension on the strap, so you're pulling the strap as if you're going to rip it. Tuck the chin, round the back. Even tuck your tailbone here. Good, and then let's lift back up, lift the heart, lift the chin, inhale, arms back behind, maybe a bend of the elbows as you drop the strap behind you. And then exhale to come forward, round the back, tuck the chin. One more time, lifting, inhaling, finding that juicy stretch, and then exhale to really round and tuck the chin, arms come forward, tension on the strap. Come back up through center. Good, and then just a little side bend from side to side. Feel it out, do it on your own. You can stay on one side for a while if it feels good. You just wanna hang out there for a breath and then switch sides, or you can keep it moving. Make sure your breath is fluid though. Don't hold your breath. Relax your face. All right, up through center. And soften the arms. We're going to gently set our strap to the side and come back into all fours. I like to do downward dog on blocks. I do it often. It saves the shoulders. It actually helps the hips, helps the sciatic area. You don't have to do it. It's up to you. Anything I ever say you have to do, you don't have to do. I'm never going to tell you have to. Anything I instruct, you have autonomy to choose. And if you're a yoga instructor, you already know all this. So you do what feels good in your practice or what you're used to, or try something new if you want to. Place those blocks shoulder distance, but ahead of you. One paw print, spread your fingers. You might even grip thumbs and pinkies outside the block. Tuck your toes, you're in your tabletop position. Soften through the elbows, big breath in. Exhale, we're just gonna hover those knees, and that means I want you to flatten the low back, press through the tops of the palms and all 10 finger pads. Good. Breathing here. Good. Just feeling that warmth, that heat. Again, this may not be your favorite pose. This is one of those times where we're going to choose to meet each moment equally, greet each moment equally. Lower those knees. Good. Little cat cow to wash it out. Inhale. And an exhale round. All right, one more time, and we're going to push up into a down dog after holding this for a moment. So start with soft elbows. Take a breath in. Exhale, push the ground away. Long arms, strong hands. Hover those knees, flat low back. If you want to add some shoulders into this, you're going to drag the shoulder blades into the back body, letting the chest sink between the arms, and then push the ground away, spreading the shoulder blades across the back, away from the spine, and then just keep that going. If that's too much, you can try just with knees down, warming up the shoulders by dropping the chest, lifting, and just feeling that the shoulder blades come in and out through the back body. But to really warm it up and add some strength, those knees would still be hovering. All right, from here, we're going to push like we're stretching our mat ahead of us. Sink the hips back, thighs come towards the belly because our knees are still nice and bent. And we're going to drop our hips to the left, stretching right side body. Good. Come up through center. Take a breath in. Exhale, drop the hips to the right, stretching left side body. Back up through center and begin to walk out those legs in your down dog. Now, don't let the tops of the palms puff up away from your blocks or the mat. Press them down, seal them. Good. And I want you to very slowly walk your feet up towards your hands, bent knees, belly on thighs. Reach the arms ahead of you, palms facing. Take a breath in. As you exhale, push the heels, start to rise up. Arms overhead, big breath in. Clasp the hands. Exhale, lean to one side or the other. Inhale, back up. Exhale, go the other way. Good. Big breath in, rising up through center. Exhale, drag the elbows down, soften the knees. Good. Release the arms down to your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, slide the hips back, belly to thighs as you fold, bent knees, hands clasped behind or hands to hips, broad chest. Maybe if you have clasped hands, they're dropping overhead. Again, we're still with bent knees, just warming up the back body. Keep those bent knees. We're going to rise just the upper body, coming to Utkatasana chair. Big breath in. Good. Lengthen that low back. Lift the heart, soften the shoulders, soft hands. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, fold with bent knees. Place the hands on the blocks, your shins, the mat, what have you. And then lift the hips, straightening the legs. Low belly will come in. The low back will sweep in and up. That's going to ripple your spine into your half lift. Take a big breath in there. And then exhale, soft knees, fold. And then gently roll yourself up nice and slow, letting those arms dangle until the shoulders are stacked over the hips. Take the arms overhead, big breath in. And then exhale, slide the hands past the face in prayer, landing at heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Let the breath settle and remember our mantra. I greet each moment equally. I had to take a look at my notes. Inhale, exhale. I greet each moment equally. All right, drop your arms to your side into Tadasana. Open the chest, turn the palms to face forward. Just rock forward and back on your feet. Just a couple times. And then stabilize yourself on all four corners of your feet. Lift your 10 toes. Lower them down. Lift your kneecaps. Tuck your tailbone. Belly sweeps in and up. Keep that. Low back sweeps in and up. That's going to lift the heart, ripple up the spine. There's your long spine. Breathe here. Finding our way into a low lunge. Let's inhale, soft knees. Sweep the arms overhead. Big breath in. Bend the knees, slide the hips back as you exhale, fold with bent knees. And then find your half lift. Lift the hips, that will straighten the legs. Find your ripple up the spine as you lift halfway, take a breath in. Soft knees to exhale and fold belly to thighs. Press your hands on the blocks of the ground. You're gonna step your right leg back, lower the knee down. Take a moment. You can move your block if it's in the way. You're gonna scoot your left foot up so that your knee is not way passing that ankle. Just give it a scooch forward. Good, and then find your way up into your low lunge. Good, you might sink into it and back off a few times. Finding a little movement to warm up the joints. Good, we're gonna work with some twisting here. We're gonna start with twisting down low and low lunge, and then I'll give you the option to finish off in a high lunge variation if you should choose. But let's get our stability and the motion down first, and then we'll see where you wanna go from there. Bring your hands down to heart center. Press the hands together, nice and strong, broaden the chest. We're gonna twist to the left. Take a breath in first. As you exhale, twist to the left. It helps to draw this left hip back a little bit. And then inhale, come forward to center. Do it again. Exhale, twist. Now we're really stabilizing through the forward foot, the back toes. Come back through center, breath in. And then exhale, twist. Use your core. Ooh, shore everything up. Now again, like I said, you have the choice. You can stay here if you want to try moving up. Hands come down for support. As you lift the back knee, I want you to keep that back knee bent though. As you push through the forward foot, you're gonna rise to stack hips over the back knee. You might need to scooch that back foot in a little bit to do so. Tuck the hips under, low belly in and up, low back in and up. Here we go. Hands back to prayer. Push them together, broad chest, take a breath in. As you exhale, there's your twist. Okay, so if you find this and you're like, yeah, maybe not, lower that back knee down and just keep moving from that space. If you're up here with me, squeeze the buns, stabilize through the feet. Keep that back knee nice and bent. That's gonna help out your low back. And use your core, use your breath, exhaling as you twist. All right, let's wrap that up. So if you have back knee lifted, I want you to lower it back down. Everybody sweep their arms overhead, big breath in, and then exhale, bring the hands down. You're gonna step or walk your left knee back in line with your right. So you're back onto all fours as we come into our downward dog. Tuck your toes, float those knees, hips go back and up into a bent knee down dog. Begin to walk out that down dog. Very good. Bend your knees here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, ripple forward into your plank. Knees up or down, your choice. Tuck the tailbone, strong legs, strong abs. You're going to inhale here and then exhale, lower all the way down. Now, if you have those blocks, you might want to slide them out of the way. Untuck your feet. Walk your hands out in front of you, tenting the fingertips. Roll your shoulders into the back body. Low belly comes in and up. Lift the heart, drop the shoulders, open the throat just as much as the neck will allow. Breathing here. Good. If this is too much, forearms can come down. Totally up to you. If you want more, straighten the arms. Keep that low belly lifting in and up to protect your low back. Good. Let's lower the heart, everybody. Hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes, press yourself back up all the way back to child's pose. So untuck those toes, sink your hips back to your heels, lower the belly. Arms can be ahead of you, forehead down, behind you. If the forehead does not reach the mat, feel free to stack your fists. But I want you to find some sort of connection with your forehead, either to the mat or your fists, so that you can really relax through the face. Breathing here. Now you stay there. I'm going to come up so I can talk to you. I want you to gently rock your head from side to side. So you're massaging out the forehead. Relaxing all those muscles around the eyes. Relaxing your jaw. Smoothing out the breath. Very good. Getting ready for the second side. You stay where you are. I'm going to turn around, so I will still be facing you as I move through. All right. Make your way up from your child's pose. Hands on those blocks or on the mat if you're not using your blocks. Tuck your toes, hover the knees, slide the hips back, scooch them up, sweeping them up to your down dog, walking out the legs, and then walking your feet up towards the front of your mat. Folding with soft knees. Exhaling, chin to chest so the crown of your head drops towards the earth. Find a half lift here, lift the hips, ripple up the spine, low belly in and up, low back in and up. Inhale here. Exhale, soft knees, fold belly to thighs. Roll your way up, arms just dangling until you take those prayer hands up, past the heart, past the face, up overhead, clasp the thumbs. Big breath in. Lean one way as you exhale. Lean the other way. Good, all the way back up. And we're gonna bend the knees, slide those hips back as you fold belly to thighs, bent knees. Let's find chair pose, sit low. And make sure that your knees are back behind your toes. Lift the belly from the thighs, arms up. If that's too much for the shoulders in chair, always option of hands to heart center. Good, take a breath in here. And then as we exhale, take a twist. Arms nice and wide. You might use the leverage of the top forearm on the outer thigh to help you. Let's come back through center, sit low, inhale, twist the other way. Breath comes out as you twist. Inhale back through center, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, fold. Soft knees as you fold. Half lift, inhale, long legs. And rebend the knees as you exhale, fold. This time we're taking and stepping the left foot back, lowering the knee down, scooching the right foot ahead. Finding that low lunge. I recommend tuck toes for stability in our twist move. And work your way in and out. If arms are tired, if shoulders don't love arms up overhead, again, boom, right there, hands to heart. Washing in and out of the hip, feeling it, woo. Good. If arms are overhead, soften the shoulders down, soften through the elbows. Good, big breath in, lift up tall. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Now, if you came forward in your lunge a little bit, back off so you're stacking hips over that back knee, maybe sliding the forward foot to be under the forward knee, pressing hands together nice and firm. Lift the heart, firm up the belly, take a breath in to lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist to your right. Good, you get the idea. A little easier always on the second side as we know where we're going, what we're doing. Inhaling as you come forward, squeezing the abs as you exhale and twist. Good. And as before, you can stay down low here if you'd like, or bring your hands down to support. As you float the back knee, keep the back knee bent, push through the forward foot. Here we are in our variation of a high lunge with a bent back knee. Hands to prayer, still working with the length as we inhale, and the exhale to twist, squeezing the abs, really cinching this hip back a little bit as you do that. Whoop. It'll just help stabilize you. Good, just a few more times here. Noticing if you prefer this or if you don't, you might want to drop the knee. Maybe it's not quite the same on the side, but try and greet each moment equally. All right, if you have the back knee lifted, please lower it back down, untuck the back foot, sweep the arms overhead, big breath in, inhale, and exhale, hands come down to the mat. Right knee in line with left. You can reset up your blocks if you want to, or omit them entirely, but we're gonna hover our knees, sweep the hips up and back, downward facing dog, walking it out. Soft face. Good, finding that flow one more time. We're gonna bend the knees, big inhale. Exhale, lift the hips, belly comes in and up, almost like you're gonna round through the upper back. And then as you ripple forward, lift the heart forward, lift your gaze. Good. Take a breath here in your plank. Drop the knees if you prefer. We're going to exhale, come down. Maybe move the blocks. Good. Arms out ahead of you. Fingertips tented, feet untucked, low belly lifts from the mat. And then we're going to lift the heart, drop the shoulders. Again, you have that variation of Sphinx if you prefer to just drop the elbows, forearms, widen the elbows if you need to lower the heart. Bring them in if you want a little more lift, but still with some support. If you want to go for the gusto, lengthen the arms, tented fingertips, strong belly in and up. Good, breathing here. Good, lower the heart. Hands under the shoulders. Push yourself up, coming to that child's pose, dropping your hips back to heels, belly rests, forehead rests on the mat, on the fists, something, please. Breathe there. You stay down in your child's pose. Breathing there. Very good. A little twisting today, which engages the core, a little core strength in hovering the knees, moving through that flow, pausing in plank. So a little heat there, little moments that you might not prefer due to balance, to strength being employed, and that's okay. Remember, we're greeting each moment equally today on the mat, allowing it just to be what it is. Might not be our favorite, but that's okay. I'll remind you, you can have preferences. It's okay to know what you like and dislike. It's when you get caught up in them, when you react poorly, when it doesn't align with your preference, or you don't get what you want, or what you wanted, or not that, but what you didn't want comes your way. How about that? What you were resisting comes your way. If you're reacting all the time, your life is going to just go up and down, up and down. If you can learn to maybe have a preference and know where you stand, but allow what is, you're going to ride that wave a lot smoother. Okay, one more wave to ride on our mat. Come up from your child's pose. We're actually going to come to our seat. So however you want to get there, if you want to cross the ankles, roll over the feet, if you want to flip them around, I don't care. It's up to you. Okay, just because I want you to practice working with things that maybe we don't love today, we're going to throw in a little core before we do some juicy stretching at the end. So we're going to work with Navasana and adding the theme of the day, the twists in there. So on your tailbone, real important, keep that core short, up and in, and sweep in and up that low back. You're going to feel that ripple up your spine, lifting the heart, hands behind the thighs here. And then slide your feet to where it feels like you could tip back on your tailbone and then lift the feet, just hovering them above the ground. You're balancing there. Squeeze your ankles together, squeeze your knees together, hands to prayer if you can, or you can keep supporting, hands behind the thighs. If this is too much, drop your feet, no shame. All right, drop your feet there, that's just fine. Keeping this lifted posture is a lot of core work in and of itself, and especially as we move into the twist, you may need to drop down a notch from just a static hold pose that you can typically do. So either choosing feet down, rocking back, finding your balance, maybe arms are ahead of you, perhaps you can lift the shins to parallel the ground. We're going to bring our hands to prayer if it's available to you. I want you to take a breath in. As you exhale, twist to the right. You're going to bring your right knee in and just tap your left heel down. Come back through center and go the other way. It's an exhale on the twist. When you reach center, take a breath in. Exhale to twist back and forth. Now you're like, well, what if I'm already down here? All right, that's fine. You can just twist from right here with that long spine. You can even just stretch out the leg, tap the leg long, and move from this space. Okay, anywhere in between is just fine. I just want you twisting. I want you building a little heat. I want you keeping the length of your spine. I want you not liking it a little bit. I wanted to challenge you because I want you to get used to greeting each moment equally, whether or not you like it. All right, we'll get to the good stuff. All right, How about one more each side? Exhale as you twist, inhale through center, exhale as you twist, inhale through center. Support the back of the thighs if you're not already. And then look back, because we're gonna lie down, and you never want to be the one that ends up with the head off the mat. You gotta get back up, resituate. So make sure you've got room for the upper body and the head. Hands to the backs of the thighs, or if you want a little final core challenge, reach your arms ahead. We're gonna roll down through the back body, slowly but surely with control. Good, and then allow the arms to come overhead, allow the legs to go long. Stretch as big as you can, like that big good morning stretch. And then take it so you're stretching longer through the right side of the body. Reach your right toes long, right arm and fingertips long. And then do the left side long, long, long. This is really gonna get those hip flexors, the core, all that front body that contracts through all that core work. Stretching it. Do the right side longer again. And then the left side longer. Good. Final twist, but it's going to be at least one that feels good because you're lying down. So bring your right knee into your chest. Just squeeze that thigh in. If you need to bend that left knee and plant the foot to give your low back some support, feel free. Oh, squeeze, that just feels good right there. A little stretch of the low back. All right, and then left hand's going to be the one guiding the right knee. Let the right arm drop off to the side. We're going to just bring that leg across the body. Take a twist. Try and keep that right shoulder just melting towards the earth. You might even turn your head towards the right, towards that long arm. Melting, relaxing your face, breathing. Relishing in the moment. And then as you feel ready, roll back onto the back body. I want you to keep your right knee in, let your left knee join. Hug them both into the chest. This is just going to neutralize and reset the hips a bit. And then as you continue to squeeze the left thigh into your chest, you lengthen your right leg as much feels good for you. Good, and then we're going to just twist on the other side. Let your right hand guide the leg over across the body. Left arm falls off to the side. I've got some issues here with my props. There we go. Good choice to keep the head just centered and neutral, or turn the gaze towards your extended arm behind you if the neck allows. And then notice anywhere in your body that you are clenching or still sort of anticipating any movement, gripping. Take a moment to relax. Use your breath, guide it into that space. Allow your breath to relax it. Good, and then roll back onto the back body. One final squeeze of both knees into the chest just to reset those hips again. Pulse them in a few times. And then plant those feet with bent knees. Allow the low back to sink down towards the mat. Allow your arms to come out to the sides, palms up. We're going to heel toe our feet to the edges of the mat and just start to windshield wiper those knees back and forth. Should feel pretty good across the hips, the low back. Again, even into the hip flexors where we were contracting with all that twisting and core. And then as you feel ready, either just knock your knees center to relax on one another, continuing to allow your low back to melt towards the earth as you relax here for final Shavasana pose. If you prefer, you may lengthen the legs. If you want even more added stretch to the psoas, to the front body, you can grab a block, place it horizontally across the back of the hips. I would just do the lowest level, honestly, just for a little extra lift. It's under the hips, not the low back. And it's just going to open up and stretch the front of the hips there. It's going to relieve any sciatic pressure you may have. And whatever you're doing, I want you to just relax, release. And again, I want you to revisit anywhere in your life, off the mat, that you notice that you are either clinging or resisting. And this constant push and pull is creating sort of a tug of war with your attention, with your energy, with your emotions. And maybe make a silent promise to yourself, or a sort of intention to be more aware, if not change it, but to be more aware is sometimes the first step. We just need awareness surrounding these things. And then when we feel ready, we can step into the change, into the small steps to rewire those habits, to allow things not to bug us so much when we either don't get our way or something we didn't want comes our way. Just riding the wave. Good, now you stay where you are, relaxing, breathing, as I make my way up to seated. I know it's not always easy to find the time to get on your mat. Sometimes even if the time's there, we find ways to fill it with other things that just crop up and feel more important. But placing yourself first as a priority, getting on your mat today, trying out something that you didn't know what was going to happen today, unless you're re-practicing this class. That's brave, and it's also one of the best things you can do, putting yourself first. Okay, that is the one preference I would say stick to, putting yourself first. I will leave you with one final quote from Marianne Williamson. And she says, the ego says, chase everything. Oh, I'm sorry. Once everything falls into place, I'll feel peace. Okay, so that's what the ego says. Once everything falls into place, I'll feel peace. Okay, how many times has that been you? It's certainly been me. Once the laundry's done, once I reach this goal, once there's this X amount in my bank account, once this, then that. It's always this sort of feeling of chasing something. And then we'll be at peace. But she says, the Spirit says, find your peace, and then everything will fall into place. All right, so putting peace first, allowing everything to fall into place, that, my friends, is riding the wave. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. And until we meet again, namaste.